Hey, what's going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the two-game NBA DFS slate on Monday on Draftkings. If you guys are a first-time viewer, I cover content for Draftkings for Prize Picks, No House Advantage, Odd Shopper. I'll have links to all of them in the description below. The sponsor of this video, though, is No House Advantage. If you guys are not on No House Advantage, you can use the code DKDFS for 100% match up to $100. But it's a player prop site where they offer a ton of different sports. You can mix and match sports. And you're building out slips of player props, slightly different payout structures from other sites. But if you guys are not on No House Advantage and want to give it a try, again, you can take advantage of that code for a 100% match up to $100. Use that free money. And my advice, again, get on as many of these DFS sites as possible, as many of these sports books as possible, and take advantage of the free money. I do for all those sports books. I would recommend you guys do the same. And if you're looking for more content, you can always check out my Patreon linked in the description for player props or for DFS. Now, I've been a little bit of a cold streak here for DFS recently, and it's been a little bit frustrating. Like, I stacked up the late game today, and the first game goes to overtime. Just the way it's been going for me like the last 5-6 days, I feel like I can't catch a break. But hey, I mean, that's how DFS goes, man. Like, it's the ups and downs. Like, I started off the playoffs extremely hot, was up like $2,000 in a matter of like a week. I was killing it, and I preferred those slates when it was a little bit tougher to build out the lineups. Pricing was a little bit tougher. It's a little bit easier now, a little bit softer pricing, but yeah, we can go over my lineup. Like, I had a lot of guys smash. KD, Booker, Jamal Murray all went crazy. But Rob Williams, playoff low minutes at low ownership. I thought he was a solid contrarian play. He barely played, so that was frustrating. Marcus Smart smashed. I went to Terrence Ross instead of TJ Warren, chalk. But chalk campaign, chalk Bruce Brown are both letdowns as well. So again, been a little bit cold, but everyone goes on those stretches. I'm not going to super stress about it. Kind of what I did today is after the first game, after I saw the first game go to overtime, I was just like, all right, I'm going to put my phone away for the day. I'm going to decompress. I'm not going to stress about it. And I actually felt really good. I felt really good to just not be on my phone 24/7. Because for what I do, like, you're always on your phone. So what I did today, I've been running a little bit bad. Just put my phone away. Just put it away. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to not stress about it, not worry about it, and get back after it tomorrow. Let's see if we can have a good night for this two-game slate. And yeah, let's get into it. So Knicks and Heat is the first game here. On the Knicks side, you got Emmanuel Quickly doubtful. So what I think is going to happen here is you're probably going to get a little more run for a guy like Quentin Grimes. I also think you probably see they'll probably dust off one of McBride or Fournier for a little bit. Could even see a guy like Derrick Rose for a couple of minutes, I guess. But yeah, I think the main benefit of Quickly being out probably maybe Felix Schmitz for his wings and just a little bit more run for a guy like Quentin Grimes. Top end, you got Brunson and Randall. So it's obviously not the best matchup here against Miami, but you should see close to 40 minutes from both. 39 and 38 minutes for Brunson over the last couple games. He's dealing with the ankle injury. Randall was massive chalk last slate, was about 70% in high stakes. He did not have a good shooting game, but usage was still there for him. Again, he just shot 4 of 15, so I'm not going to really overreact to one bad game for Randall. So both the main guys, I think, are solid plays in Brunson and Randall. I wouldn't call either a priority, but that is where a majority of the offense is running through. RJ Barrett, 6'8". His minutes can fluctuate a bit. If he's playing well, they can extend him more. If he's struggling, like, there have been games where they don't close with RJ Barrett. So at this price point, it's definitely a bit riskier. I would feel more comfortable playing either Brunson or Randall. But Barrett is a little bit cheaper. I just think there's a lot more risk with him. Josh Hart, 6'3". I mean, I think we probably get as much run as you can from Hart. Of course, when Randall is out and I played him, 23 minutes and 23 fantasy points in 47 minutes. But with a fully healthy team, he's going for like 40 fantasy points a game. It's like, come on, man, come on. But yeah, with Josh Hart, he's a stat sheet stuffer. He's one of the primary defenders on Jimmy Butler, so I think he's going to play huge minutes. He's a reasonable play. You got Mitch Robinson, you got Isaiah Hartenstein kind of splitting the center position. Back-to-back games Robinson's gotten massive foul trouble. But if he stays out of foul trouble, we have seen games where Robinson's pushed for 30-plus minutes. Hartenstein got extended back-to-back games, but again, a lot of that was due to Mitch Robinson foul trouble. Quickly, not expected to play. I mentioned I think you get a little more run for Quentin Grimes. He's still not, you're not going to be super excited about it, but he has nice eligibility, shooting guard, small forward. Obi Toppin, I'm not sure if we'll see much of him or a ton of him alongside Randall, maybe a little bit. And then I think you probably get one of like McBride or Fournier or D. One of those guys probably gets dusted off for a couple minutes with Quickly off the court. All right, moving on to Miami. So Jimmy Butler's 9.5K. I mean, he's been phenomenal so far in the playoffs. Again, this game obviously projected to be a lot lower scoring than the later game, but Jimmy still has a massive usage rate. He's doing everything for the team. I have absolutely no issue with him, even at this price. Bam Adebayo, 7-7. He's kind of up and down. He's more of just like a last piece in filler play for me. I like Lowry and Vincent a good amount. Vincent shot like awful, 1 of 8 last game. Also dealt with a bit of foul trouble, but besides that last game, he's been pretty consistent. Most of the time, he's playing 30-plus minutes. I think he's a solid play in the mid-range. I think Kyle Lowry probably plays 25 to 30 minutes. So both these guards, I think, are pretty decent plays. The rest of Miami, I don't really have a good feel for these guys. Kevin Love, minutes can fluctuate, most likely not in the closing lineup, but he'll be relatively productive when he's on the court. Max Strus just comes down to whether or not he's making the shots, right? I can't tell if he's going to make the shots. I mean, I literally played this guy when he went for -1 fantasy points, so that is the floor on him when he's not knocking down his shots. Caleb Martin, we probably see mid-20s minutes from him. Fine. Duncan Robinson, if Strus is really struggling, they can extend him, but also very score independent, that being Duncan Robinson. I wouldn't mess with like Zeller or Highsmith. They might play a couple of minutes. So that's Miami. Let's move on to Golden State and the Lakers. So Golden State, last 2 games in the series have been massive blowouts. I'm hoping for a competitive game. I would really, really appreciate it. I hope we get 2 competitive games tomorrow. But Steph Curry, 9-6, must-win game here for Golden State. Really, they do not want to go down 3-1. I think he's going to play 40-ish minutes. Lakers have been doing a good job defensively on him, but I still really like the ceiling on Steph. Klay Thompson, again, relatively score independent, but if they're going to continue to double Steph, you should get some open looks for Klay. Wiggins and Draymond, I think, are both pretty safe plays in the mid-range. You should get mid to high 30s minutes from both these guys if they can stay out of foul trouble. Draymond got in massive foul trouble last game, which was very, very tilting, but he does get a bump, especially playing the 5. Now, if they go back to Looney at the 5, then I don't like Draymond as much, but still, you should get 30-plus minutes for Draymond Green. Looney, I think I would only play him if he starts. If he comes off the bench, I'm a little bit worried about his minutes. 12 and 16 minutes. Even though both games were blowouts, he wasn't really on pace to play huge minutes in either. Jordan Poole is 5K. I think he's a good tournament play. He's just a guy that he's going to be aggressive when he's on the court, but also like they can pull the plug on his minutes. They've done that a couple times so far in the playoffs. So I like the ceiling good amount on Poole. I think DiVincenzo is going to be very popular. You have to be a little bit careful here, though, with DiVincenzo. I do think he's, a solid punt play, but he'll probably be a bit overowned. Last 2 games, Dante DiVincenzo has closed in the blowout. Basically, he's played the whole 4th quarter because the game has been out of hand. So, sorry, allergy season. But he's basically played the whole 4th quarter last couple of games. So people might be game log watching and see, 28, 22 minutes. We got to slam Dante DiVincenzo. Well, he basically only played like 12 minutes in competitive game and then played like the whole 4th in a blow. So I like DiVincenzo. But I do think he'll probably be a bit overrun. And we have seen Golden State, we haven't seen a ton of Peyton recently, but they could go that route. We haven't really seen a ton of Moody, but they could go there. Jamal Green started again and played a little bit. So there are like other ways Golden State could go. So I would say of that group of DiVincenzo, Green, Moody, Peyton, DiVincenzo is my favorite. But I also think he's going to be over-owned in tournaments. So that's kind of my breakdown there with the Golden State value. And for the Lakers, I wanted to mention they switch up their rotation. You saw Lonnie Walker in the rotation. He played a lot, especially in the first half. Lonnie Walker subbed in with Rui and Dennis Schroeder and played the last 4 minutes of the first quarter, and then played up until the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. So he played a good chunk. Was getting similar run in the second half, and then the game blew out. He got pulled. So, and he actually played relatively well. So I'm pretty sure you will see Lonnie Walker in the rotation again. But top end guys, AD, LeBron, it's always really my same breakdown. These guys, both of them have a pretty high ceiling. I think the ceiling a little bit higher on AD right now than it is LeBron. But LeBron can still go for 60 plus anytime he touches the court as well. So yeah, it's just like usually comes down to ownership of those two, but they've been relatively similar ownership recently. So I never really have any super strong takes with the top guys, AD and LeBron. Now in the mid-range, D'Lo, been playing really well. Also been knocking down his shots, been doing a bit more ball handling. His potential assists are up. He's played pretty well in this series. So I like his ceiling in tournaments. The price has come up on him, where Reeves has really struggled. 3 of 11, 2 of 8, 4 of 9 shooting. It doesn't mean, though, he's going to continue to shoot that bad. So probably D'Lo will get a lot more ownership, but I still have interest in Reeves. Also, again, back-to-back blowouts, right? The series in general have been a lot of blowouts. So Reeves, most of the time, should play 35-plus minutes in a competitive game. So I think he'll be a bit under-owned. D'Lo might be a bit over-owned, but you can't deny D'Lo has played extremely well recently. And then you got Vanderbilt and Schroeder. I think are both solid values. Vanderbilt, one of the primary defenders on staff, probably plays low 20s minutes. Schroeder, you should see, 20, 25 minutes from him. I think he's a reasonable value. And then Lonnie Walker, 3.3K. I mean, played a good chunk and didn't play in the blowout either. So with a nice eligibility shooting guard, small forward, I do like Lonnie Walker. It'll be interesting. What's the ownership going to be on Lonnie Walker as opposed to Dante DiVincenzo? That'll be really interesting to monitor tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure we will see Lonnie Walker in the rotation, especially because he played well. So if you give me like 20 minutes from a basic min price Lonnie Walker, yeah, I think that's going to be a pretty good play. And then Rui Hachimura, 3.9, and minutes can fluctuate on him. But if he plays well like he did 2 games ago, they can extend him a bit. So another guy that does have a ceiling. So there's definitely some value plays I like here for the Lakers. I think all 4 of, Vanderbilt, Schroeder, Rui, and Lonnie are decent options here. All these guys pretty cheap. So that's going to do it for the video. As always, I really do appreciate the support, guys, on these Prize Picks videos, the DFS videos. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll see you all in the next one.